right, here we go. We're back again. It's another week gone by. This is episode
2015.
Yeah, episode episode 2,000,001. No, it's episode 215. But this is a 0.5. We're going to add this onto the live show that we did this week. So
we can't stop ourselves.
We can't stop just doing these things. But the format is simple. We're trying to release 4 shows a month, although we're doing a 0.5. In fact, did you used to get called 0.5 at school?
0.5, no. What does that mean?
Part breed.
No, I never got that.
Yeah. Anyway, I did. We're trying to release 4 shows a month. Members get full podcasts plus download. Non-members get part 1. Although non-members get full show this week. All new shows are released on Saturdays. Podcasts are always at sheepfarm.co.uk if you want to listen to them. We also do Podomatic, which generally get part 1, but the full podcast this week will go on there. And they ship it out to Spotify, Amazon, and all the other usual Apple podcast platforms. And please subscribe to the website. There's no cost to subscribing to the website. You get the email updates and notifications of any new shows, so you don't have to rely on YouTube, is what I'm trying to say.
But you can become a full member for £2 a month. I don't know why. I don't know why don't you want to say it? I don't know. I understand why I don't say it.
I don't chase subscribers. That's why.
No, it doesn't matter because someone emailed me a while ago and said they didn't realise. So It is worth mentioning. We're not Scrabblers. It's just you know.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks if you are a member, and thanks for supporting us in anything, even just listening. It still surprises me that so many people want to listen to us too. I know. Yorkshire morons.
I looked through back some of the older stuff on YouTube the other day, just out of interest, see if there's any new comments and stuff. And sometimes there is. Right. And some of them earlier, like that Jerry one's got like 10,000 views on YouTube now. 10,000. Yeah.
No, it's got over 20.
Has it? I'm looking at the wrong one. Yeah. On YouTube?
Yeah.
Has it really? Oh, God. Yeah. Well, my point was, they're still getting, it's still good. You can still go back.
Welcome to the Sheep Farm Party, Chris.
Well, we did about 3 or 4 with him, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, yeah. There is 3 or 4 on there that's live.
Yeah. Maybe I wasn't looking at I don't know. I was looking at
But do you know the strange thing? The Boris Johnson ones, the Matt Wancock, the witty ones.
Yeah.
The Tony Blair one. All the ones we did in 2020, 2021, yeah, they had like 30, 40, 50,000 and going up views. They'd have been in probably hundreds of thousands. I think I've had to take them down because they've got banned. Yeah. All the World Economic Forum ones we did. Some of them are actually on there. The Klaus Schwab one and all that type of stuff. I did take them down at one point.
I suppose that's how we got the crowd that listen to us now, I suppose, isn't it? We had a big bang and then...
Yeah. God knows what it was. Quite surreal, really, that people actually listen. When I say listen, I don't mean take us seriously. I'm on about actually tune in.
Yeah.
I don't mean listen to it
That is always a surprise. I forgot to tell you, where I've just been just now, this minute. I've just got back. Do you remember last year I talked about a parking ticket?
Yes.
How
could I forget?
Yeah. I think I got spurred on by my that speeding ticket that I got away with and they paid me my travel expenses. Right. No, but anyway, I got this. I'm sure we've all had these parking tickets, right? And just out of the injustice of it, I refuse to fucking pay it because, excuse me, French, because it says in big writing, and I've just been over there basically to take a photo of it, right? Because they're trying to find me 260 quid now. And I'm having a court thing as well. I thought, sod it. If it's that high, I might as well continue. So I took a photo of it, of the sign. And the sign says at the top, me and Dougie were there, me and my mate Dougie, and we both looked and it says, first hour's free. It's fine. So you just go off. I was just picking him up from a hotel. And then tiny small print, this is why I went over to have a look. It's got up to 4 hours. Then in the faintest print that you can't even see if you're 6 feet away, it says, for badge holders only.
Right.
It's just honestly, the proper gangsters, these people, aren't they?
Yeah.
Just running these...
Energy extortion, isn't it?
Outside a hotel as well, Fatty, where people have gone to stay and then sodded off back home. And it's a 70 quid fine for parking there for an hour. It's disgusting.
But imagine, right, there's someone in an office that's come up with that because the global climate warming nonsense change, right? That we don't want cars in this city or town or whatever.
And then also, someone's gone, make that writing a bit fainter so that people can't see it.
But these people, right, are normal people. They're not any sort of big time businessman. These are normal normal people.
But that piece of work is designed to throw you off. so you don't know. I mean, as if I'm not going to pay £1 for an hour, £1.50, whatever it is.
I know.
As if I'm going to risk getting a 70 quid fine. If that was legitimately written, I would have seen it and paid the £1.50.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know what I
You'd be
mean?
surprised though how many people won't, but they treat you as a criminal, as
Yeah.
though you're not going to pay, never going to pay it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of people listening on Michael Odieri would say, you don't have to pay that because of X, Y, Z. Now I don't know how to fight that thing.
Well, I haven't paid it, and I've tried to summon me to court. If I don't pay it, I've got some court letter.
Well, you either enter the corporate world or you study that stuff. I put all my time into doing what I'm doing. Yeah, I should possibly put all my time into studying that, and I'll be an expert on my own in the legal system as well. Because the 10,000 hour rule, isn't it?
Out of pure principle, I haven't paid it. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But
that's pointless, though. That I think.
No,
that's your view anyway. I'm just saying that in my opinion.
What I'm saying is, I'm right. I've gone over, took photos of it. I'm going to print them out and write a letter to the court and to the parking people.
I would say outside our clinic, I park my car right, and your car can't fit in the square. The you know where they put the lines.
Yeah.
So they give me a ticket saying I parked over lines. So we measured the cars that were there. There were all of them parked over lines that day. We were quite fortunate. We took pictures of where the kiboshed it because their markings were illegal,
right?
Because they had to be. I think it was 6'6" wide.
And like you said, somebody knows that. Somebody did that on purpose.
Yes. Yeah, and also he couldn't give me a ticket for that. He hadn't got the authority to give me a ticket for that. Anyway, but that's different. We fought that within the time period of them not putting it up.
But what I mean is they don't expect anyone to complain, and they always give you that. If you pay 60 quid now in 2 weeks, then it'll be 100 quid in 2 weeks. So people say, oh, you know what, fuck, I can't be bothered, whatever. It's just gone. We'll get it out. Get out of my way. How much do these people make out of this stuff?
Well, I mean,
disgusting.
If they ran the right, you got a council that has all this money coming in and resources, right, and they've never any money, but yet they'll screw their own people within their own town or community, as they call it, right? So that we're part of this community that gets screwed, yeah, and they can't even run the council right. If anybody should be getting fined, it's those people in the who run the council, and I aren't saying it's an easy job because one set of councillors leave. Another set of councillors try and take over the shit that they've left, and it just goes on and on and on. And that's the problem, isn't it? They leave them in that much debt. They leave them in that much debt that they can't get out of it. Also, the councils borrow against. So, for instance, if Kirklees Council, for argument's sake, knows they're getting in a certain amount of money every year, they can borrow against that because that's classed as like earnings, like going for a mortgage.
If they're real vigilantes like Batman or whatever, these are people who should go after. Abseil down a government building, go through a window, and beat one of those bastards up.
But be surprised how many there are. You'll have got it in catering industry where they come around and check your kitchens.
Yeah.
Now there are some dodgy places where I've no doubt with rats running around, and you know, and there does need to be some kind of legislation for certain things.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But not pure extortion. Anyway, let's move on.
It's malicious.
Yeah. So yeah, you can subscribe to the website, or you can be a subscriber just for email notifications. Join Chris on Instagram. His little crowd's building nicely there. Thanks for all the orders of Health Bunker. Remember, use the promo code. A few people email it. Where's your promo code? It's in the description every time. There are 2 promo codes, one for 25 off and one for 10 off, which is for the Lipsomal products, only on Health Bunker products. Not on the branded products. There's a few branded products on there. It's only on Health Bunker products. No doubt I'll get emails.
And also,
why won't it work on this other product? But anyway,
why do you never mention the merch shop as well? Got T-shirt shop as well.
T-shirt shop that Chris never updates.
I do update. I put a new one on there. Dizzy twat. I put the it's a small club I'm wearing it.
I don't think it should be called merch shop. It should be called a shill shop.
Well,
a big shill shop. Yeah.
Well. I'm going to put some more. I put a new one on there a while ago.
In fact, Chris hasn't just got a Big Shill mic now. He's got a new Big Shill computer.
Do you know what? I was reluctant to buy a new computer.
And what, for 3 years, were it? Reluctant?
No, my old laptop I've had for 8 years.
No, about me nagging you, saying your audio were terrible.
I've had it about 8 or 9 years. It was shit when I bought it.
Yeah.
I have to say, I'm enjoying doing stuff on this computer.
Oh, it's weird that, isn't it? If you'd have listened to Dom 4 years ago.
Why would I listen to you?
Exactly. Yeah. Do you know what? You'd prefer to have some sort of flickering eye problem with your computer and
and take any advice from you. Yes,
yeah, exactly.
right.
Even
that
if
is
it
correct.
helps.
That is correct.
Yeah. But your audio does sound better. In fact, somebody said it sounded better than mine now, which is good. It's not a competition, but it's good. At least it sounds better.
Instead of having a shaky laptop, I bought a computer that sits in corner. So it's got a decent camera on it, and it's quite a pleasure to use, actually.
That's a downside, 'cause I couldn't focus on you before. No. I have to focus on your rear read and haircut.
It's quite a pleasure to use.
4 years.
Which is good.
It does sound a lot better, though, Chris. A lot better. Not unlike John's on Tuesday.
Oh, I was sad when I had to ditch John.
He was quite pissed off with John.
Did you speak to him the next day?
I rang him the next day, said, don't worry about it. We're going to record again on Monday, not a live show. We'll record on something else. Hopefully his computer, which is, I think Marty McFly were using it in 1956. So his tackle's not right good, and his Tinterweb connection's not right cracky. So he's got double bubble, sadly.
But Dave Murphy jumped in, that were good. Yeah,
Dave jumped in, got a great hour and a half or so with Dave. He's actually on in a few weeks, is Dave. He's back with us we'd already got one penciled in to do with Dave in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. He jumped in, that were good. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
So that will be released. That one we did with Dave on sheepfound.co.uk and on Podomatic will be released at the end of this podcast. If you want to re-listen to it, I've edited out the videos that were in there, so it's about an hour and a half worth of podcast. Or you can go onto YouTube and the whole live event is there. Yeah. Let me see. Let's get me notes so I don't miss out. Yeah. So last week we said we released some tickets for a live event in May with Mark Devlin, and they sold out pretty quickly.
I think 2 hours, weren't they?
Rather surprisingly. So we're thinking of doing another in sometime in July, possibly early July. It'll be on a Saturday again. So if you're interested, please email us. We'll get you first on the list. There's a few people already said they wanted to come. If you email info@sheepfound.co.uk if you're interested in coming in July, and we'll do, like we did last year, do a follow-up. Be the same one. So if you want to come to 2, you can. If not, there you go. Also, I'm working on the next Huxley series, which I've been working on quietly over the last 3 or 4 months, really. It's taking shape now. Or I'm taking shape, spending hours doing research on this stuff. So I'm going to do a follow-up one on the Doors. We did the Doors of Deception. Obviously, the Doors were called after Aldous Huxley's book, The Doors of Perception. So this new one's going to be the Doors of Conception. That'll give you some idea of what it's about. More deep diving into genealogy. It's very interesting. It's kept me busy. So I'm going to do at least 3 or 4. Done a lot of work on connections to the Beatles, actually, although the Doors weren't really connected to the Beatles, but they were in the same culture. But they're all connected to the Huxleys. That's why Huxley was on Sgt. Pepper, the Sgt. Pepper's album, and the Doors obviously were called after Huxley's book, Doors of Perception, yada, yada, yada. And other things have followed on from there, like Eminem, for instance, and Jane Asher, Michael Jackson. Got some really interesting stuff about them guys. That's it. Somebody emailed in actually, and we're asking, how do you get your information? I think that's what the email was. Really nice email. You sent it me, Chris, I think, didn't you?
I don't remember. I'm just going through all mine.
Right.
At the moment. So I might have sent it to you as I was going through them. Yeah, I might have done.
Yeah. About, it was a direct email, so I don't know how they got my email address. Probably Mark's give it them. I'm a follower of the work that people like yourself and Mark Devlin do. It seems to be too much for some people to comprehend that the world is literally a stage and it can be determined by what bloodline people are born into. Some of the information that you guys present on how music artists, film stars, government officials, etc., are all interlinked by their bloodlines is fascinating to me. It's fascinating to me as well. I think it fascinates all of us. Well, me and Chris anyway. The fact that famous US actors like Tom Hanks, Brad Pitt are related to some of the former presidents is very eye-opening in the way the world actually works. Whether I try to alert people to this, whenever I try to alert people to this, I'm instantly met with ridicule and told that I'm a conspiracy theorist. Yeah, you're just a nutter.
Well, you are.
Yeah. I was just wondering if you could point me towards some of the sites that you guys have used in the past to link these people's genealogy together. The reason I'm asking is that in future, whenever somebody dismisses the facts that I present them, at least I can show
Back
them,
it up a bit,
etc. Yeah. I mean, in fairness to Chris, it's me that does this side of it. Pointing you to where I get them from all over different places. It's and they're not stored in one sort of place. That's the problem.
I think, does it not mean is it a genealogy site? I think is that what he's getting at.
Yeah, but it's not just as easy as saying there's a genealogy site either.
Right.
They don't have them on there. It doesn't say Tom Hanks's genealogy.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? And also, even if it does, you've still got to check that. You can't just... This is the problem with all the Instagram stuff, innit?
Yeah.
That bam, that's true, so blah. And then you go and check it, and really, that's not it. It's just a headline.
Yeah. That's why, you'd have to be careful what you should share.
Well, always with this genealogy stuff, you've got to leave a caveat out there to say, I wasn't there, so I don't know. This is what I found. This is where I found it. It's as true as I can say it is. Even famous professional genealogists, I actually check their work back because you've got to have it backed up by something else as well before you sort of commit to say, this is what I found. I can't even say it's true. You understand where I'm coming from? Because, again, what world are we living in? We're living in an illusion, aren't we? But it's the information that's been put out there about these people. So we've got to take it at that face value, haven't we? As well, sometimes. Yeah, it's not quite as simple as that. In fact, Mark asked me, said, how do you get that? And I said, you know what? I don't know. But I suppose other people, like you can draw. I can't draw. I see links to people. I see names, and I think that name there is linked to that. And I go down, and I might waste 2 hours doing it.
Well, I think you've probably hit the nail on there. I think, unfortunately, we all want things to happen instantly, don't we?
Honestly, it takes me.
You've also got to be into it. You've got to enjoy it. You've got to get something out of it, haven't you?
Yeah. I run a scenario. We're doing Jim Morrison's genealogy, and I thought I'd found a golden link to I forget which one now. It might have been Charlemagne, but anyway. But then I found, going back through it, I went to sleep, woke up, and then I reworked it again, and I found that he didn't have a bloodline link to this line. It was his stepmother, not his stepmother, but a stepmother in generations gone by, if you like, that had a link to that lineage. So his great great granddad times whatever 10 was married to a lady who was the stepmother of his bloodline relation, who had the link. It veered off, and it was her link. So you've got to recheck, and there's no way you can show people how to do that. It's, you know what I mean? You'd have to set a school up. And
there you go.
Yeah. I've got enough jobs on. Thank you very much.
Conspiracy school.
Yeah, conspiracy school. Conspiracy nutter school.
Hey, in
like Monsters Inc.
In an ideal world, that would exist, wouldn't it? You'd be allowed to do that. And
research.
You could have a school where it's just open-minded and you can discuss anything.
Conspiracy Inc.
Yeah, you could.
Who's Sully?
Yeah.
No, but interesting question though. And do you know what? These people are never going to be talked round anyway, because I can tell people that they're that people relate to people. I can show it them on paper, and they still won't believe you anyway. Fuck me, if they're carrying on wearing a mask in 2020 and 2021 and still having jabs.
Oh, they'll hold their hands up and say, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you going to do about it?
No, there's nothing you're going to do about it. It's just interesting.
What's little old me going to do about it?
It's a very small percent of bloodlines that run this shit show. It's just interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is interesting. Or control who's running this shit show. Not necessarily. One enlightening thing about all this, a lot of the genealogists say we're all related to such and such. Well, that's not what I find. I'm on about, so you've got Tom Hanks as a cousin of somebody, for instance, right? I like the Tom Hanks is a grandson of somebody. That's a direct link to that person, not a cousin of Brad Pitt, although they're interesting. I'm not saying he's a cousin of Brad Pitt, I can't remember now, but I'm using that as an example. If he's a cousin of somebody 7 times removed, it's a watered down bloodline, isn't it, as far as I can see, in respect to a direct great grandson, if you get my drift. So they're the gold ones. The cousin ones are quite easy to find on these people, but well, they're if you're an absolute lunatic. Other night, Chris, right? I found something on, I forget what it was. It might have been Michael Jackson, and I think I said this the other day. I thought, you and I played football. I'll come in and I'll just start typing up this next Huxley thing, and I thought Michael Jackson popped in my head. I thought, I'll check about him. 1 o'clock in the morning, got finished. And it's that type of madness that it draws you in and takes you with it. But so yeah, I suppose you've just got to be willing to do it. I didn't understand all this 4 or 5 years ago. That's why I'm going through the Doors stuff now, and I'm looking at it and thinking, how did I miss all this? I thought that were cutting edge when we did that. So in another 4 years, when I've done this, I'll realise that I've missed a load of other stuff out as well. It's not that stuff were wrong. It's just that I missed as much out as we presented.
We'll be discussing Mars landing by then, fan.
Yeah, right. Bigger Earth landing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, in the new Huxley series, there's John Lennon as well. Yeah, I forgot to add that one. Did some... This was before Christmas. But I'm looking through all the genealogy things that I've got, and I've got, again, you've got to be nuts. It's a similar thing to, why do you have your own business? How do you start a business up? You've got to be nuts to do it, because it's 7 days a week, 24/7.
Yeah, but you ask anyone who started their own business up, even if it's failed, they always say they'll do it again.
A lot of people do, yeah.
It's very rare they just walk away and go back to,
I
think.
Yeah. Well, I don't know anything else, so. But anyway. All right, you had something you wanted to...
Well, I wanted to discuss a film, actually. Oh, actually, it's a TV series coming out. It's called 0 Day. I get Empire magazine, basically.
It's called what, sorry?
0 Day.
Right.
Basically, my missus subscribed me for Empire about 10 years ago. I was going to stop it, but I actually can find some quite interesting stuff out in it now. And something I realised, because I've got some old Empires, like from years ago, is... I'm sure they've always been propagandizing into an extent, but now they're just, it's ridiculous. Every picture it shows of a director, they've always got a mask on. Do you know what I mean? They're still selling it when they made these films. Anyway, let me read this out to you, right? I'm going to miss out this guy's name, and I'll tell you where it is at the end. This is a TV series, and just look how many propagandized things that alert your ears in this. This is just this little synopsis of this thing that's coming out soon, and it's got Robert De Niro in it. And this is the article. I believe the world is not so much made up of good and bad guys, but bad guys and very bad guys. Eric Newman tells Empire. It's an understandable statement from the showrunner of cartel drama Narcos and spin-off Narcos Mexico. But for his new series 0 Day, a conspiracy theory plagued political thriller, the boundaries are a little blurrier. We came up with this story about an investigation, the outcome of which really matters, and is set in a world where the truth has become relative, and therefore the actual truth is so important, he explained. And we in question, in the news producer and screenwriter, blank, I'm not going to tell you his name at the end. Shall I tell you his name?
No, do what you're going to do.
News producer and screenwriter, blank, and Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Michael Schmidt, author of Donald Trump versus the United States, Inside the Struggle to Stop a President. So he wrote, was that a book? He wrote a book. Newman's fellow showrunners on 0 Day, set largely in the aftermath of a devastating cyber attack on America. So you've got a cyber attack, ding ding. The show follows the government's race to find the culprits, spearheaded by former POTUS George Mullen, played by Robert De Niro. What's POTUS? Do you know what that is?
POTUS.
Yeah, POTUS, yeah.
President of the United States.
All right. I've never heard that.
POTUS, that's what they call it.
Yeah. Right. Former POTUS George Mullen, played by Robert De Niro, in his first major TV role. Every once in a while, I do have moments of like, oh my
No,
god,
Robert De Niro were Warburton's advert and Kia cars.
What's wrong with Kia cars? Oh my god, that's Robert De Niro, Last Newman, who pitched the concept to the star over dinner. He took to it immediately. Do you know what I was thinking the other day? You know when we spoke to Mike Williams, and I had this serious conversation in my head.
Yeah.
Obviously, being a big film fan my whole life, I thought, who would I rather talk to today, Mike Williams or Robert De Niro?
I know which I'd choose. We did it.
Mike Williams. It's true, isn't it? It's true, isn't
Yeah.
it? Who would you rather have a conversation with?
Robert De Niro is an empty vessel.
Well, he's a good actor, but
He's an empty vessel. No, he's a liar.
He's just
He's not an actor. He's a liar. You just change actor to the liar, and then that's who we've got.
Yeah. Adding to the show's already high stakes is Mullen's private battle. Listen to this one then, propaganda. You wouldn't have seen this coming, would you, in a political conspiracy thriller?
No.
Adding to the show's already high stakes is Mullen's private battle with Alzheimer's.
Right. What's this guy called? What's his first name? While we're doing this, I'm going to look into him.
Which guy?
Mullen.
No, in fact, just hang on. Let's get to the end of this. I'm reading this. Just calm down. Adding to the show's
I'm
already
going
high
off
stakes
again.
is Mullen's private battle with Alzheimer's, which makes his relationship with the truth even more problematic. It's about someone who, in a world where people are losing their way, is forced to investigate something while he himself is losing his way because he's got Alzheimer's. Newman summarizes with the clock ticking. Mullen delves into the ever-evolving world of cyber terrorism, while media-fueled conspiracy theories bring more trouble to his door. I am fascinated by why people are willing to go down these rabbit holes, another one, and truly believe everything from "we didn't go to the moon" to Pizzagate, says Newman. So they've obviously been told to write this fucking script, haven't they? Certainly in the past 4 years. All right, that's weird. Certainly in the past 4 years, maybe even 8 years, I've become less judgmental and disdainful about what people believe. I believe there's a reason, sometimes outside of their control, that people are willing to believe certain ridiculous, in my mind, ideas. Zero Day is careful to sidestep any political affiliations. There's no mention of Republicans or Democrats, even when it comes to Mullen and the active president, played by Angela Bassett.
Oh, it's got to be a woman.
Yeah, black woman. But it's impossible to contextualize the show's themes during an especially heated and reactive time in America. My hope is that under it all, there is an aspirational quality, and that people tasked with protecting us and defending the governing of us find their way to the truth, Newman muses. Perhaps some of these guys have the power not to be so bad after all. So you've got a conspiracy drama, Robert De Niro, and he's running the show, but he's got Alzheimer's. How can that work? Anyway, the name that I missed out, the screenwriter who wrote it with that other guy was Noah Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
And now, that's why I didn't want to tell you, because I knew you'd start looking. Noah Oppenheimer, born 1977, or listen to this, born 1977 or 1978. So on Wiki, they couldn't really get his date of birth. So he's either 46 or 47, they're not sure. An American television producer, author, and screenwriter. Previously, Oppenheimer was the executive in charge and senior producer on the NBC's Today Show, where he supervised the 7 to 8 a.m. hour of the broadcast, and the head of development at the production company, Reveille, Reveille. He became president of NBC News in 2017. The same year, Ronan Farrow claimed that Oppenheimer attempted to stop his reporting on the Harvey Weinstein sexual abuse cases, a claim that Oppenheimer denied. Oppenheimer stepped down as president of NBC News in January 2023 and ended into TV and film production with an agreement from NBC Universal. So he still works for NBC, but just in the film department. How mad is that for?
Yeah. And the fact that, again, we know that Oppenheimer is a name synonymous with nuclear war. And diamonds.
Just one thing before we talk about it. On the previous page in Empire magazine, there's another thing. I think I might have mentioned this before. From hard-hitting docs to jazz hands. This is another guy, right? A different guy. He's called Joshua Oppenheimer. This is on the other page. That other guy was Oppenheimer. He's Oppenheimer. They're both of Jewish descendant, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that means anything. I'm just saying. See, this guy Joshua Oppenheimer's also directed a film, and it's got, who is it? Tilda Swinton in it. A musical about a wealthy family ensconced underground after a climate catastrophe. They're partly responsible, for sure, a climate catastrophe that they're responsible for sure, and basically they're in an underground base.
Right.
like a departure for director Joshua Oppenheimer. Until now, he was best known for The Act of Killing, a harrowing documentary that reenacted the mass killings in 60s Indonesia. In 2016, Oppenheimer received an Oscar nomination for the film's spiritual successor, The Look of Silence. And he's made a film about these rich folks who caused this climate disaster hiding underground. I think I might have mentioned that before, actually. But yeah, there you go. 2 Oppenheimer filmmakers for it.
Yeah. Does it surprise you anymore, any of this, Chris?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Isn't it strange, though, right? When you read some of this, like on Wikipedia, and I noticed this, it actually says that they're Jewish people, and there's another religion that stands out as well, which is Roman Catholic. It actually says that as well. Goes into detail about their religious beliefs and stuff like that. So it's not just Jewish people that it does it with.
I just noticed as well, actually, they both went to Harvard, and they're both virtually the same age.
Right.
He's 47 or 46. The other guy's 50. Still probably at Harvard at the same time.
Well, strangely, one of Eminem's distant great granddads was one of the first presidents of Harvard, I think it was. It don't look like a go to Harvard, Eminem, does it?
But just to go back, when have you ever seen a film, right, where the main protagonist, he's going to be the guy on the street, Robert De Niro running around, has Alzheimer's? Why has that now become a thing?
Because it's normal, Chris. It's as normal as sports stars keeling over on a football pitch now.
Well, we've seen that in film. I've mentioned that in a few films where someone's just keeled over and there's no mention of them. Yeah. Or even that kids' film I went to see, Inside Out, where the female protagonist is playing hockey and she ends up in a booth grabbing a heart and it's going dum 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 dum.
Yeah.
What? I mean, it's to normalise it, isn't it?
Normalise it.
They're using De Niro to normalise Alzheimer's.
Well, De Niro will normalise anything he's paid to. Because it will. Whether it's Warburton's bread, Kia cars. What's wrong with Kia cars? Kia cars, or Alzheimer's now.
Yeah.
But it can stand outside with 3 microphones, looking like one of those baddie villain type characters. Can you believe me? My wife's ringing me down here.
Dinner's ready.
It's not, I don't know what it is. But
so start shouting in a minute.
Yeah.
Like my mum used to do.
Yeah.
Christian! From the other side of the house. Yeah. I can't hear you, and you can't hear me. Why are you shouting?
The thing is, the reception down here is terrible, so I can't even text her.
I'm surprised it even rang, to be fair.
No, that's a landline. That's why that works. That is old-fashioned. Yeah. Do you know the production company that you mentioned, Reveal Productions?
Yeah.
They merged, and it's now called Endemol Shine North America.
Endemol?
Endemol, yeah.
Endemol?
Endemol.
Endemol.
Yeah. Endemol. Yeah. Endemol Shine North America produces and distributes scripted and unscripted television and digital content through its Global Shine 360 division. Endemol Shine is.
I've just got on there. I have to go back. Endemol.
Yeah, Endemol.
It's spelled End EMOL, but if you say it sounds like Endemol.
It does in our accent. But yeah. So they produce. So they produce scripted and unscripted. How can you produce something that's unscripted? It's got to be edited. As soon as you edit it, it's scripted, isn't it?
Well, he was. Well, is it saying? I mean, that fellow was working for NBC News. Then he went to NBC News, wherever, another branch.
Yeah.
After getting accused of letting Weinstein off.
Yeah. Well, he didn't. Yeah, he sort of withheld, stopped.
Attempted to stop reporting. He said, which is all it takes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just like Queer Starman did over here.
Yeah. I mean, all these people are all. I mean, here, look. Some of these people. I'm not saying they're all bad people. I think they get led down a path where they've got to create these type of. I mean, they created Ugly Betty and programs like that.
No, they're not all evil in it. I mean, I'm not even saying these Weinsteins are. Sorry, these Oppenheimers are. You don't know. I don't know. It's just strange that the names come up, and the kind of thing they're making, like the other guy, Joshua, about climate change and an underground base for rich people. You know, it's just strange that they make these kind of
they're trying to normalize.
films.
They're trying to normalize the narrative, so it becomes, not. It's sort of soften the blow of a conspiracy theorist, isn't it? And I know it sounds, because what they want to do is they've realised that taking conspiracy theorists on head on, we're not like a community. We are a community, but we're not. We came together in 2020, 2021, but then went our own separate ways now and just listened to people like we were doing before. Something else happens, we'll come together again. It's very difficult to control that type of mentality because it's too fluid. They like rigidity, don't they? And so they've got to put this type of... You've got De Niro will stand in front of a courthouse while apparently Trump were inside it with 3 mics, like one of them, like, I don't know, in Gotham City or something like that.
Yeah.
Ranting and raving about Donald Trump like a nutter.
Yeah. He's been told to do that, hasn't he? Has he done that because he wants to?
Yeah, well, I don't know what
this is where we get confused, you see, because we think it's about money. He's not being paid to do that. He's probably following his contract.
Also, it just looked like Robert De Niro in a film. These people now, before they had some sort, they were like enigmas, weren't they? You didn't really see them.
Especially Robert De Niro. He was the enigma of, he was known as a method actor, and he didn't really do many interviews. Did he? Didn't really tell no one knew about his private life or anything. He was like that. And
now the trousers are down, aren't they? Their ass cheeks are hanging out because they're on social media. They've got to be on social media to stay relative to everybody else, and they're now, you see them for what they are. They're quite a sad sight, really.
You do. Yeah, you do. You see things differently now, don't you?
They're quite a sad sight. The PR doesn't work. It's lost its shine now as PR, because now they will tell you that they agree with this or that, and you make a decision then and don't watch the films. Whereas before you wouldn't have known because they wouldn't have been throwing it in your face as much.
Yeah, you lose all respect, don't you?
Yeah, and same with musicians or whatever, TV programs.
Like with the Tap, as soon as they're saying do this, do that, you're like, ugh.
Yeah, I know.
Any respect you had for them has gone on it.
It's gone, yeah. What they should be saying is, Mark always says, how many of these people, and it's a good line in the sand, how many of these people actually stood up and said something in 2021? Even if they agreed with the jabs and the lockdowns, even if they said it should be somebody's freedom to choose what they want to do. Yeah. Very few of them.
There is another side, though, that they think, I've got the clout, so I'm going to use my clout to do what I agree with, which again, you kind of got to understand. I can get that,
I can get that, yeah.
But I don't think that's the case, though.
No, I think that people like... Richard Gere apparently has left America because he's scared of Donald Trump. He might be scared of Donald Trump. I don't know. It looks like a nutter to me. But... they all look like nutters.
He's at least entertaining, though.
Very entertaining.
I can watch him.
Also, just going back to Trump, we mentioned this the other week, but have you ever seen anything like this? Everything is televised. I watched something where they had all the journalists and that there, and somebody asked him a question, and he's answering it. And he's basically calling him stupid. He's calling the journalists stupid. Right?
Was that the guy from Huffington Post? And he says, "Where are you from?" He said, "Huffington Post."
No, there were loads of them, right? That he's on. It's not just one person. And he said, "Right, I've answered your question. Put the mic down." And he carried on. He said, "Put the mic down." When have you ever heard a prime minister or a president say anything like that to a journalist?
So
they've got no respect at all for any of these people. And I can sort of understand what they mean by when the Democrats left. They said it was going to be like Hitler getting in. Right, I'm not saying it's like Hitler. I'm not saying they're going to get marched off and shot against the wall, but he's treating them like they are getting thrown to the dogs. These people,
which they should do.
Yeah, but you're telling me Ronald Reagan's lot weren't as corrupt?
Oh yeah, they're all as corrupt.
You know what I mean?
He's just for whatever reason, for whatever scheme they're up to at this point in time, he's been chosen to do that job of this and bringing everything down, kind of thing,
collapsing everything.
Yeah.
Because on the one hand, he's going to end. He said it's pointless death in Ukraine. If I'd have been in power, that war would never have happened. Blah 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 blah.
But then on the
other hand, let's flatten Gaza.
Yeah, turn it into a holiday resort for Americans.
Yeah, no, Palestinians are going to go back in there and live there in peace, Chris, for the rest of their lives.
I don't think they're going back.
No, I don't either. Not now. He's signed that deal with Jordan to take a load of kids over. Do you think the kids are going to go back?
I wouldn't. No.
We'll go back to where we can get bombed or somewhere we're safe.
Yeah, where we got chased out of.
It's like they've pulled the plug on Gaza and emptied it.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did do a lot of good stuff, but then that other stuff is still going on
to cover up the shit.
Yeah, but what I mean is that part of the plan? Is it for him to come in and do some, good stuff that get in a normal world, if it were all real, people like us excited, for instance? Because you do, I don't know.
I don't hold any hope.
No, I know we don't. But what I mean is I think that's what it's aimed to do. I think that's what the plan was.
Yeah, aimed to get the fringe magnets. Yeah, it's a fringe magnet.
Get everyone on side. And you've got the other two. You got RFK and you got Musk as well. That people get on side with for whatever reason.
And that what's that lady that's I forget what she's called now.
I don't know.
Who's that ex-military woman who's got voted in as well?
I don't know. I didn't see that.
I forget what she's called. Anyway, but all these people who they're characters more than any other time.
Yeah.
Elon Musk stood in White House with his kid on his shoulders and a baseball cap on.
I know. That was
what
weird.
on earth is that portraying? Then he's meeting with Indian president.
Very strange.
To try and get...
No, like you say, a character. I mean, has any character been built up more than Musk over the last...
Well, yeah, Bill Gates was. Bill Gates, but different types of PR. Bill Gates were like Gandhi PR, weren't they? Like he's going around helping all these Africans and Filipinos and Indians and
like you say, all these characters, all of them, including Trump, including RFK, they've all had this little media campaign. I mean, like we always do it a bit shitter of it, don't we? But like Queer Starmer did, he had a little media campaign behind him. Do you remember saying just before he got elected, he were on that breakfast cooking show talking
with
about
sleeves rolled up, with
his sleeves rolled up in an apron, saying what my favourite salmon dishes, and then saying he was in a rock band, and
he looks like a rocker, doesn't he?
Yeah. Do you remember? Weird, isn't it? They had pictures of Blair in a band as well. How weird.
Well, they had Oasis there, didn't he?
Yeah. But do you remember I told you when we were on that morning show, they said, "Oh, we've got an embarrassing picture of you when you were in a band," and they carried on talking, and they went, "Oh, we've lost that picture. We can't seem to get it." And they carried on going on about it, and then Queer Star went, "Didn't you have a picture of me in the rock band?" Even though it was supposed to be like this embarrassing event, you know what I mean?
Yeah. There probably is no picture of him in a rock band. They just had to mention it because it was scripted.
No, they did have it.
Did they show it?
Yeah.
Right. He plays football as well with them stupid knee wraps on.
He's always telling.
I play with the boys. Yeah, I bet you do. That's good ball control, Kia.
I don't like football. I just like having a bath after.
Just like the showers after. But again, these people get in, like Trump. But they're still not saying that. They're saying Biden was inept and stuff.
They're ice skating around the jibby jabs, aren't they?
All of it.
Yeah, ice skating right around it.
And now he's going to release his 48-hour printable AI jabs.
Yeah.
So what's Robert Kennedy going to say about that? Like Mike Williams said, he's never come out and said he's anti. We're talking about gibbery jabs again, aren't we? We're going to get this on.
One of my most surprising things. I watched a bit of that RFK thing, and it had Cheryl from Curb Your Enthusiasm is his wife now.
Right.
Who I don't know if anyone's watched Curb Your Enthusiasm. I really like it. I mean, he did get a bit propaganda in itself towards the end. To be fair, they were doing that anti-Trump stuff on there and whatever. But his wife in that is RFK's wife now, which I find a bit weird.
Well, his ex-wife, who was the guy that did Curb Your Enthusiasm? What's he called?
What? Who's in it?
No, his real
Larry David.
Larry David. Well, his wife, she's pro global climate warming change nonsense.
That's right. Yeah, I remember you talking about this.
Yeah, we did a live event, a live one on Rise Above a couple of years ago, where I went through Larry David, much to your
another one bites the dust.
Another one bites the dust. And his wife was pro global climate warming bollocks, eat ants change, and it was found out that she were flying around everywhere she went on a private jet. She spent, I forget how much she spent now. It were millions on private jets. But, yeah, I've got nothing wrong. I wish I could go on a private jet. I've no issue with that.
I'd be guilt-free as well.
I would get guilt-free, absolutely guilt-free.
In fact, I'd ask for diesel.
Yeah, that's one with more smoke coming out at arse end of it. Yeah, but massive Fergie private jet, please. Yeah, but she's telling everybody that they shouldn't be flying.
That's the hypocrisy of it, isn't it?
And that was Larry David's ex-wife. Apparently, that's it. She was the one. That's why we were talking about her. It was when we did the Al Gore or AI Gore.
Yeah.
What was his film called?
Inconvenient Bollocks Truth.
Yeah, I called it Convenient Lie.
Yeah.
And he called it Inconvenient Truth. She was one of the production team.
I think you might be right, yeah. Producer or something.
She was part of the company that.
I say, Curb Your Enthusiasm. I thought she was hilarious.
She was something to do with it anyway. Yeah. He was meant to be having an affair with her as well. AI Gore.
Was it?
Algorithm. Yeah.
All right.
Whether it's true or not. I mean, Tony Blair were meant to be having an affair with that, with Rupert Murdoch's ex-wife.
I don't think just Tony Blair could have an affair with himself.
No. He might be having an affair with an After 8 Mint. That's about as.
How did Al Gore get to make a sequel to that film when nothing he said in the first one came true?
I think Steven Seagal were going to be in that sequel. You know, just to bump ratings up a bit. No, I'm joking.
Inconvenient True to the Revenge.
Yeah, the Revenge with Steven Seagal.
Caesar Boylan. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Caesar Boylan. I mean, how do you get away with making that statement?
Yeah. How does he get away with making that first film? Nothing happening that he says. Everything's going to be underwater, and then he still makes a sequel.
Yeah, but now it's Caesar Boylan. It's not going to be underwater anymore.
It's got worse, apparently.
Yeah. I went to Croatia last year and sea were fucking freezing.
Yeah.
I was singing soprano for a week after I got out of that.
Bullshit.
Yeah, absolute nonsense. But again, the links to these people that they work with. I mean, again, Elon Musk. He bought Twitter, but he didn't buy Twitter. The people that lent him Twitter were the Saudi Arabian government.
Yeah.
So you're basically on a Saudi Arabian platform. So although Elon Musk is worth X amount, excuse the pun, I think his son's called X as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's going on there? Anyway, X, come in for your dinner.
X!
Yeah.
I forgot to tell you, actually, I saw some footage of, you know, like when you go to a Middle Eastern country, Morocco, and they have that, what do they call it, where they sing for when they do the prayers. I saw some footage.
You've just messed that up big time.
I've messed it up. You know what I mean? I quite like it, actually. That,
I do as well.
Kind of, what do I call it? Call to prayer. They had a guy doing it on, like a Saudi-looking guy, you know, with a full headdress and that, doing it on London Bridge in London.
Right.
I saw some footage. I forget where I saw it. I don't know if someone sent it me or I saw it on Instagram. But what's that about? It's just to cause trouble, isn't it?
Mm.
It's just to make trouble. You know, of all the stuff that's going on in the world now, you need a guy stood on London Bridge doing that. Surrounded by cops, by the way.
Well, again, people were saying, I think it was him anyway, but why weren't he arrested? Yeah, if you're a Tommy Robinson supporter, you get arrested.
That's why they did it. To make numpties have that conversation.
The indigenous people, the indigenous population, against someone who might be an immigrant, for instance.
Yeah.
But the immigration problem isn't possibly with people who've been here 20, 30 years. The immigration problem is because they're allowing lunatics in to stay in hotels and spending millions and millions of pounds of our taxpayers'
all
money.
over the world,
all over the world at the same
Western
time.
world at the same time.
Yes, it's not just a British issue.
No.
And for some reason, it's happening. I was talking to somebody last night, and we agreed on certain things, but he thought all these people coming in on boats.
Yeah, but that's and while you've got that guy right who's thinking all these people are coming in on rubber dinghies, and then
rubber dinghy rapids.
There's too many folk, and then just in the middle of all that fucking hornet's nest of stress, they put an Arab guy on London Bridge doing that thingy noise.
Yeah,
you can't tell me that's not there to wind you up.
No. I mean, it don't wind me up, but I'm sure there's a lot of people there kicking off about that.
Yeah. The only thing that winds me up is that people are getting wound up over bullshit that's been invented to wind them up.
Well, again, we come back to that point. In 2020, 2021, there was a massive amount of people all on side on one particular subject, right?
For the first time, probably.
Anti-Jap. For the first time in a long time, right?
Yeah.
Poll tax riots, they called them. But poll tax, I won't even say miners' strike. I think people were a bit split on miners' strike. But In the local areas there weren't. But anyway,
but you had a
there
national
were whole
movement.
sections of Britain, and right, and I'm saying Britain, not just Scotland. It was Scotland, Ireland,
So, I mean,
everywhere.
it was a national
national
movement, wasn't
thing, yeah. And I think it terrified them, or maybe that's why it was done, to see how many people actually stood up and said "fuck you."
Could have been a
right?
beta test, yeah.
Yeah. And now they're splitting those people up. Whether you follow Katie Hopkins, you go over there, they're called so-called far right, and Tommy Robinson and all these people like that. Whether you're like Nigel Farage, whether the gauge, it's weird because you voted supposedly voted in, selected, whatever, or not elected, a Labour government that is basically, I'd say, communist, but I might be wrong on there. I'm not very political, but yeah, they got voted in overwhelmingly, apparently.
Yeah, from 10 people that voted.
Because people are pissed off, there seems to be more people now on the far right of the.
And also the people that voted him in feel like shit because he's openly just been
lied to them.
Yeah.
But the ones before were shite as well.
Yeah.
And everyone seems to be forgetting about what happened under. They're saying that Labour's only been in the ruined economy. Well, no, that was done. That was done in 2020 when they threw 500 billion into the economy. We were always going to have to pay that back.
Yeah,
that's why it was put in there in the first place.
Yeah. Orchestrated destruction, isn't it?
Well, orchestrated destruction
here, all around the West.
Orchestrated diversionary tactics that get your mind away from it all, and now you're focusing on some guy on a London bridge doing a chant, an Arabic chant,
surrounded by cops.
Surrounded by cops,
but you can't get someone to, my Wagamama story. Can't you?
Was it on news, that, Chris?
No, never mentioned.
No.
But apparently I'm a criminal, and I owed 260 quid for a parking ticket for parking somewhere for 45
but was the guy on the London Bridge in news?
I don't know. Someone sent me an Instagram of it, I think.
Right.
With, this is ridiculous under it or something. But
right.
I don't think it was a sheep farmer. It was just someone I used to work with.
Is it ridiculous? I don't know if it's ridiculous or not. I don't really care.
No.
Because there's bigger things happening.
I've got no problem with that guy standing on London Bridge. He can sing wherever he wants.
Yeah.
As long as he keeps his pants on. As long as he's not playing drums with his nads, I don't mind.
Yeah. On mainstream TV.
Even then, I don't care. Do what you want.
What? Playing drums with his nads?
Yeah. Do you remember then, talking about London Bridge, do you remember when those people, because do you remember when they did that thing with, estranged fathers, and they just dished out all those bills, and loads of them topped themselves and all? Do you remember that years ago? Obviously, I split with Seb's mum, and one of them was dressed as Batman on London Bridge, and I got a back text off all my mates saying, "Is that you, Chris?"
That was nice of him.
Well, I was a Batman fan and moaning about paying too much out to me. Yeah.
Few mad stories about avian flu spread sees 1.8 million farmed birds culled.
Yeah. Oh, quickly fight. Sorry. We'll come back
just
to
jumped straight in, haven't you? We'll come back to that.
This is relevant. Because I went into London this week to see some mates, and I picked up a metro. I like to pick up a metro to see what shite's going on. And on the front page, it's about is it World Cup where is it? Is it in Qatar? Where is it?
It was in Qatar, I think. That was 2 years ago, that.
No, there's a new one coming up.
Saudi Arabia.
Is it Saudi Arabia?
It's a while away. It's a while away, though, that, I think.
But they're already saying that you can't drink beer there. So it's on the front page at Metro. And again, another guy with his Saudi, yeah. So, and then a pint of beer next to him saying it'll be dry and you won't be able to drink beer. Just to cause more trouble.
Well, they said that in Qatar and people were drinking.
No, Qatar, I think they could drink afterwards in the hotels and stuff.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Or they loosened it a little bit. But I think, fair enough. It's your country, do what you want.
I mean, I couldn't be asked going and watching football.
Well, I won't go watch one.
But I know people who did go, and they said it weren't anywhere near as bad as the
Never is
portrait. And these are Middle England people as well.
Well, I remember seeing there were a report, wasn't there, of a guy going with an LGBT flag, and they just told him you thought you were going to get nicked and dramatic, and you just told him to put it away. but I mean, I mean, me more than anyone. I love a drink, but if I was there and they said you can't have a pint while you're watching football, does it matter? Is it that desperate that you've got? You can't wait till it's ended. Anyway,
apparently,
go on.
Apparently, that's you're meant to get hammered at everything. The Western culture, is about if you go to cinema, go to theatre, go out for a meal. Everything is about having a drink.
Not
everything
cinema, so much.
Well, people drink before they go to cinema because
Yeah.
there's generally a pub next door.
Yeah. You drink in cinema now.
Yeah, whether it's a birthday, christening, whatever it is, people have a drink. It's just it's Western culture, isn't it?
English, especially, not just to have a drink. We're known for getting.
I'd say Scottish are pretty good at it.
Yeah, Scottish. The
Welsh and Irish.
The old Isles actually are pretty good at it. We're quite well known for being, a bit more lively, should we say?
Well, I'd say French and Scandinavians are.
They do in football, don't they? They get a bit rowdy.
They're all levelled, in football. Germans, yeah. It's certainly a Western.
It's weird how that's become a thing, innit? To fight someone who's who supports a different football team to you. I mean,
do you know when you're going through these genealogies? I know it's slightly again off skew. When you're going through, it is like Game of Thrones, and the people that are at the football matches would have been people swinging an axe if they were a Viking, for instance, or an Anglo-Saxon or a Norman. They're the people that would have been working for the Lord of the Manor or whoever it might have been, the king at that particular time, fighting the wars. And so, where does that excess energy go?
And they would have had a few agent provocateurs thrown in there, wouldn't they, just to rival everyone up a little bit?
Yeah, I'd have thought in 80s there would have been. I mean, a lot of them.
I mean, going back even in history, I reckon.
Yeah. And also, a lot of the guys that say we're in World War I would have been football hooligans in 1985, for instance. You understand what I mean? That is that generation. They would have been those people.
There is also certain people who have got to be in a club, and they've got to be in a group situation.
They've got to be in a group, and some people are born fighters because that warrior mentality is there. Just like some people are strong, some people are good artists, some people can cook, some people are good practical wise. It takes a lot of people to. And also, you go to a football game, you'll see the quietest guy in the world, right? Jump up and think he's an absolute shouting and effing and blinding
because he's got all his mates behind him.
Yeah, or he's in a group of people who
feel the same way.
Yeah.
How you guys talk about football at work? And I think the head chefs think he supports Tottenham, if I don't know. But everyone slags him off for liking him. And I was saying, well, why? Oh, because the Tottenham supporters are pricks. What?
Right.
All of them? How does that work?
Yeah. Well, it's that same thing as that all BMW drivers are pricks.
Yeah, all Russians are.
Yeah. Yeah. It is that thing, isn't it? Where
we need someone to hate, don't we?
Yeah.
You go to any country and there's a north-south divide as well. And you go to any country and everyone dislikes everyone in the capital. Odd, isn't it?
I call my Mrs. BMW Black Man's woman. Yeah.
That's nice, yeah.
Or part Black Man's woman. That's one of the kind of things. No doubt I'll be getting a bollocking because I didn't answer the phone.
Idiot. Yeah. Was you told?
Yeah. Anyway, back to avian flu. I hope you're not scared. 1.8 million birds. Found birds called
1.8 million birds murdered. So that means it's definitely true then.
Look, it's got an avian influenza control zone as well.
Is that in England?
Signed. Yeah, it's in England, yeah. I don't know. Well, I'm saying it's in England.
It looks like an English sign, doesn't it?
It could be an AI bloody adapted sign, I don't know.
But like anything, they've got the drama because they killed 1.8 million birds. Doesn't mean anything's fucking happening. They've just got the drama.
Yeah.
Look at this footage of the drama.
There have been 33 outbreaks of the virus. Isn't it weird? Do these things just get printed out and just like these numbers just get regurgitated around?
I know. It's got to be 33.
Yeah. At the beginning of the worst outbreak of bird flu, 3.2 million birds were killed between October 23rd, 2021 and September 2022. One of the farmers affected in 2021, Lucy Sanderson from North Yorkshire, says people who are not aware of the mental health impact culling birds had on farmers. So they're not only traumatising and murdering a load of chickens for no reason whatsoever. Can you imagine you go to your farm and say, that's it, it's closed. Imagine what that causes, the stress that creates on farms. It's no wonder they're all turning the barns into houses and selling it all off and saying, fuck it.
Yeah. Well, they're just doing what they need to do to survive.
And this is, I've noticed, right, from our clinic. Once we get it sorted, I'll go through the process of what we're doing at the moment in the clinic. Probably a few months away. I won't do it now. But when you're dealing with government bodies, like say you want planning on your house or you're a farmer, you've got no say whether that chicken has a virus or not.
No, because they'll test it and they'll say it has.
Yeah, because they'll use the PCR test that Mullins said he could find a dinosaur in it, right?
Or like the BSE stuff, they'll just do it anyway.
Yeah.
Just do it anyway. Like I said, then they've got the drama, so then it actually happened.
Yeah.
It's like 2020, they made the drama themselves, so that means it happened.
They've even got the signs, Avian Influenza Control Zone.
So I mean, then they've got the picture, haven't they? That's in the news now, they've got the picture.
Yeah. Then they're saying that somebody's got this avian flu and it's been passed from chicken to man.
Just like the bat flu.
Yeah.
But they've learnt the lesson from the Spanish flu, didn't they? Having the footage, pictures of people with masks on, so they had to do them after.
Yeah.
They had to retrograde them, didn't they?
Gary Ford of the British Free Range Egg Producers Association. I bet that's an interesting meeting.
God. Job for everyone, I suppose.
It's a shame it wasn't somebody called Michelle from the Free Range Eggs. Anyway, a lot of worry and concern amongst poultry farmers, and in some respect, panic. I bet there is. Biosecurity restrictions are currently in place across England, Wales, and Scotland as part of the avian influenza prevention zone. This is how they turn you all into vegans.
Yeah, but again, like it says there, a lot of worry and concern and panic. It's not because of the avian flu. It's because what you fucking psychos are doing to their businesses.
Yes,
that's what they're panicking about.
Yeah,
I'm not scared of the flu. Are you?
No,
I'm scared of what these nutters are going to do next.
Yeah, I don't need biosecurity restrictions. Thank you very much.
No, fine, thanks. Yeah,
got no
I'll
interest
I'll take my chance with the chickens.
I'll take my chances. I don't believe you, biosecurity hazard people.
Yeah.
Just because you've got an hazmat suit on, I don't care.
I'm going to make a fucking A-team style gun that shoots chickens out.
Yeah. Change it from cabbages. Yeah.
Cabbages to chickens. Take that, you bastard. Fly as well.
On Wednesday, it was announced that all farmers and bird keepers in Herefordshire, Worcestershire, Cheshire, Merseyside and Lancashire will also have to house their flocks from midnight on 16th of February. So these are obviously free-range people. So they're no free-range chickens now.
All right. So, right.
Yeah.
So all your chickens are going to be battery.
Yeah. James Mottersheed, chairman of the National Farmers Union Poultry Board, said, how many poultry board things do they need? Said, bird flu outbreaks were putting a huge emotional and financial strain on farming families. Farmers take such care to protect their health and welfare of the birds, and it's devastating to see that compromised.
Again, they're doing bird flu outbreaks cause all this financial, but it's not the outbreak because there isn't one. It's these psychos.
Yeah, a DEFRA spokesman said compensation we pay to any farmer for all healthy birds. So where does that money come from? So you know who funds DEFRA, don't you? So DEFRA is the government board, right? DEFRA's funded not just by the government, but also by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So this you can see the drive, can't you, to eating beetle cutlets?
Yeah. Creating a drama.
And DEFRA said, we know the devastating impact bird flu has on farmers and poultry producers, which is why we have taken further measures in recent weeks, including introducing housing orders in the most affected areas. So all they have to do is know that a test is fake, test the birds and prove that they've got avian flu.
Like we'll be testing for the big C, so you can have a 48-hour cure.
Yeah. Good luck there.
We're selling them in vending machines soon, won't they?
Yeah.
Just bare your ass to a vending machine.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to mention, actually, have you noticed there's another TV show coming out, and it's about the what do they call it? Just in time, by the way. And would you think this is a coincidence? The you know that when the Palestinians took that plane hostage.
Yeah.
They made a mini-series about it, which is what that Spielberg film Munich was about, wasn't it? The revenge of that. They've made an actor.
No, Munich wasn't about a plane. Munich was about the Olympics.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The Olympics. They were on a plane though, weren't they? The hostages.
No, it was about it was the Olympic Village.
Oh right, sorry, I got that wrong. They've made a TV miniseries, I think it is, about the hostages, Israeli hostages.
Right.
They were held by the Palestinians, weren't they? Apparently.
Yes. No. Well, apparently.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is it a coincidence that this TV drama's coming out now, where sympathy for the Israeli fight, shall I say?
Yeah, it's all a conspiracy.
It's no coincidence. Do you know the guy? The actor.
Sorry, it's all a coincidence. Sorry.
The actor playing. James Magaro. He's playing Jeffrey Mason. He's called. That was the main guy in the newsroom at the time.
Right.
Is that a coincidence? Could be. Real Mason. He's playing the Mason. September the 5th. 1988 it was, wasn't it?
What?
Was it 1988?
70s.
70s. Sorry,
72.
72, sorry. Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah. But just going back to farming, in Telegraph, it's saying whether this, again, what do you know? Who do you believe? One dairy farmer going under every day as Cathedral City is latest to axe contracts. Fresh blow to the industry. Cheese producer, Cathedral City. Again, it's collapsing all this infrastructure, closing down farms by pulling the rug from under them. Isn't it weird how, generally, 2020, I would say, was the first time that corporates didn't want your custom. They actually turned you off. They don't want your custom anymore. And
that also, does that make that Bovia thing smell a bit fishy as well?
Yeah. Oh, well, I said that at the beginning. It was always about turning people off. They put additives in feed all the time. Why did they publicise that one?
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's good, by the way. I'm just saying why.
But it was in all the news. It was out there, wasn't it? Once
who's funding DEFRA? Bill Gates.
You're talking beef, milk, and cheese, aren't you?
Yeah.
And yogurts and everything. It goes everything.
Yeah. So if you fuck milk up, there's about 100 different products that it gooses. And I'm not saying that the Bovia thing is why they've stopped this, but all their spreads and stuff like that. Why would they be selling less? Why would they need to sell to get rid of people? Why would they sell less? Why is it that the Saputo Dairy, which produces utterly butterlate and clover spreads, has ended deals with 13 farmers? It's supplied with 20 million litres of milk a year. And that's how they do it. Just pull it out. Don't give you any warning. Just pull it out. Yeah. This is what's happening. They're collapsing everything. It's sad to watch. Sad to watch. Yeah. Anyway, on that note, should we sign out?
Yeah. One more thing before we go. This is just a thought process I'm having at the moment. Because a few people have messaged me who live around here in Cambridge. So if you send us an email and put Cambridge on it, I'm thinking of organising a little meetup for everyone who lives around here. Why not? See if you can get 8 or 10 of us or whatever. Meet up, have a little pint or something.
A little pint.
Well, you know what I mean. Just to meet, just to get people together. Because that when we did those live shows, one of the best thing was seeing folk together, wasn't it? Who were all similar thinking kind of folk. So if you do live in Cambridge, send us a message to info@sheepfarm.co.uk. If you fancy doing it, it's only a thought process. It might not happen. It might do. Don't know. But if you want to send it and entitle it Cambridge, and then I can see it, and then we'll just see what happens. Yeah. We can get a few. We'll just go meet up and do something. Maybe
Don't
not
like me.
No, you wouldn't dream of doing something like that. No. That's your worst. That's your worst nightmare. Hey, no, but I'm not that sociable these days. I don't go out anymore.
No.
I just thought it might be.
And that's why he's trying to buy friends.
I'm trying to buy friends. I don't want any more friends.
No. It's bad enough talking to me.
I don't. Yeah, exactly. You're getting old, don't you? When someone invites you out and you're already planning how to get home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bypassed that one now.
I was going to say, I don't think you have that. I don't think you even have that one.
I don't have to bypass anything because I just go out. I don't go out.
Yeah, I don't really. I mean, I met some mates in London. this week, but generally I don't really go out. I like being at home.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought I'd mention that. So if anyone thinks about it, just email us. Nothing might come of it. I'm not promising anything, but
Yeah, you probably get 3,000 emails now.
That'd be quite scary, wouldn't it? I don't think we would.
How scared you, Remember, if you want to go see Chris in a pub, he'll have a red hanky hanging out of his arse pocket.
Yeah.
Also, if you want to go on the list for that possible live event we're going to do in July, not the May one, that's sold out now, in July, send us an email, info@sheepfarm.co.uk, and we'll get you on that list, and we'll get back to you with a date, see if you can get there. I'm going to put an email out, separate email to this podcast release, just saying that we're going to be doing a show in July. I might even put Chris's come to Cambridge.
Not come to Cambridge if you live here already.
A wagon trail, stagecoaches going to see you in the pub. I'll get it full, don't worry, Chris.
I don't want it full.
You'll regret you ever mentioned it. No, you won't.
Look at the glee on your face. I'm just winking how you can upset me.
No, I'm not thinking how I can upset you.
I'll just ruin my day.
No, it wouldn't ruin your day at all. It'd excite you, wouldn't it?
Why have you got that look of glee in your eyes? What you doing?
Because it'd be funny if 100 people turn up in a pub in Cambridge. You think you're expecting 2 or 3 people to turn up for a pint and some crisps.
Like Mad Max, go to Cross Desert.
Go to Cross Desert, yeah, and stick it on that big chair at back. Right, okay. Thanks for tuning in. The podcast we do with Dave will play after this one, if you're listening on Podomatic, or on our website. If you're listening on YouTube, it won't. But there you go. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.